Hello, and welcome to episode Todd Talks and Todd Talks. People listen. The only fantasy here is yours, and we shall act as its final witness. Hopefully. Today, we are talking about the death battle that just came out, the one that is the return of Torian Crawford. We're talking about Dante versus Clive. I'm surprised he didn't say Clive Rossfield, but I guess Dante versus Clive is easier to say. And first and foremost, welcome back, Torian. We missed you. And yes, he did do back. He didn't even wait a minute into the fight before doing backflips. Did y'all notice that? It was like 40 seconds ish. Second of all, I won. I'm not gonna lie. I've been sweating this one because I felt Clive could win, especially after everything I had read, but with cosmology and everything, I wasn't sure, and a lot of you in my preview video were talking about 9-dimensional beings and how Dante did this in base form or this in base form, and, Clive can't touch him and blah, blah, blah. Then I read the G1 blog yesterday, fantastic read, by the way, and they were like, no, Clive actually could win. And they had 15 people on that blog. 8 said Clive, 7 said Dante, which is just so perfect because, Final Fantasy 7, but we're one better than that. So, yeah. But yes, Clive Rossfield won, and man, was this an interesting fight. Again, just going to show that even with my research, which I try to do a deep dive as best I can, you have to really get into the nitty-gritty like Death Battle does to help understand these things. I appreciated both the rundowns. I mean, they were honestly pretty basic for what it was. Part of it, I'm sure, was due to how Clive has one game. He has one game. He was technically in Final Fantasy XIV, which even the G1 blog address says that would not count for various reasons. And he's the guy from Tekken 8. I didn't realize that was a meme. Who knew? But, so he had one game, and then Dante had, of course, a sprawling history across the games, the manga, the animes, good and bad, and all that. So I understood why they really condensed things to focus on, the fundamentals of both of their stories and their abilities and whatnot. So it's what it was needed to be. But what we're really here to talk about is the fight, obviously. Because Torian was back, and he did not miss a beat. Oh my gosh, Torian. There's so much to talk about here. First of all, visually stunning. Both the models for Clive and Dante were amazing. And then we got, their super forms. We got all the various weapons for Dante. We got the icons for Clive. I was surprised by how much they were able to pull out. And then even just the little moments and interactions, which is what I love the most, they were prevalent throughout the whole battle. Like, one of my favorite things by far was when Clive does one of his attacks and Dante starts riding down the rubble on his motorcycle weapon, and Clive goes, "What the hell is that?" I love that because he wouldn't know it, because it's literally like a fantasy style, even with the icons and everything. It's still fantasy medieval era versus Dante, who has guns and motorcycles and guitars. I also love the bard line. "Oh, you fancy yourself a bard?" Or when they're about to do like the final transformations, and he goes, "The devil cries for more." It's like, I love, like, they were very much on point. It was like Spawn, Ghost Rider levels of peak dialogue. I loved it. But then, of course, there was just the action, and Torian, being Torian, went all in on the action, from just their basic attacks and weapons to the icon moves to the transformations to just the stylish aura farming that we all knew they were going to have. Both of them did it, but he also had like the moments of comedy, like when Dante had Dr. Faust on and he did the Michael Jackson move only to get grabbed by Garuda. He's like, ugh! And that's canon, by the way. In his forms, he is, even like in Dreadnought, where he's supposed to be nigh invincible, he's susceptible to grabs. That was in the G1 blog. So yeah, that was nice. And then there was also the bit where they were slicing the aether crystals, which was a reference to Dante and Virgil slicing up the rainstorm. That was awesome. And then of course once they went to their icon and Devil Trigger forms in space, because of course they had to fight in space. Just peak effects and clashes. I love that they did the button mashing. See, Asura isn't the only one who does such things. Punch to the face. That was awesome. And then even the ending, which, I mean, granted, not unlike, say, like Miles, Deku, it wasn't the best kill, personally. But it wasn't really about that. It was the fact that, just like in their games, they didn't need their super forms to win. It was all about the man at the end, man or devil, at the end, summoning that little bit more to get the win. And I appreciate that, because it would be so easy for them to do it, Devil Trigger style or with a Freet. But he's like, no, it's like, I need more, just once more. A Freet! That was great. Even Dante was like, yeah, that was pretty good, man. Not bad at all. So, crushed it. No real notes. As for my ranking, the weather's been weird outside. As for my ranking, I would honestly say this is probably tied for my favorite 3D battle of the new era. If I was to give an edge, it probably would still be Ruby Maka, just because of like the very personal elements with Monium and the Yang call out and some of the little tiny details that I just really appreciated. But this is right up there. Like, it's really neck and neck for best 3D fight of the indie era. So thank you, Torian. We really appreciate it. We appreciate you. I mean, we wish you all the best with your full-time jobs and within the gaming industry. He's working on Star Wars Jedi. Did you know that? He worked on the last two, apparently. So thank you for everything. We do hope you come back, though, because you really do crush it. You're really awesome. And now, next time on Death Battle, the 2025 season finale, or finale episode, however you want to call it. It's Ash versus Yugi. Yes! The once promised 200th episode, it will be 203. So they barely missed it by that much. But yes, it is Ash Ketchum versus Yugi Muto, Pokemon versus Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, we've been waiting for this. And, the fans are going to hate it no matter what. Oh, come on, let's be honest here. I mean, these are die-hard fan bases, and I am lucky enough to be a union between the two because I grew up on both. I watched all the original Yu-Gi-Oh! I watched GX, I watched 5Ds. I got off at Zexal because it really got stupid, and I haven't watched any other ones. And then Ash's run, I've watched the whole run, basically. I've missed a few episodes. There was, like, lost episodes and certain other things. But, like, Kanto to Galar, I was there. And then I tried watching Pokemon Horizons, and it just wasn't the same. Sorry. So, I am very excited for this. It's going to be fun doing research on this because I don't need to know their stories. I know their stories. It's really going to be about the minor details, about, Poke scaling, Pokedex entries, who does Ash get, who has Ash fought that would scale to certain things, and so on and so forth. And same thing with Yugi. So, fun times. Now, I'm going to look at my calendar really quick. Based on how they have been doing this, if my camera will ever be summoned. There we go. Our calendar. Let's see. So today's the 9th. So they'll skip next week, which is the 16th. Then the 23rd will be the Ash preview. 30th will be the Yugi preview. So December 7th will be the episode, barring a delay. So I full faith in the Death Battle team. They've clearly been working on this a long time, which is why they delayed it from the 100th episode slot, or 200th episode slot, which is fine because Ruby Maka was very deserving. So let's end this on a bang. All right, let's end this first true indie year on a bang. Yeah. So with that, I'm in this episode of Todd Talk. What did you think of Dante versus Clive? Were you thrilled by what Torian delivered? And if not, what's wrong with you? going Reggie Fils-Me on you. What's wrong with you? And how pumped are you for Ash versus Yugi next month? Let me know in the comments below. So, I thank you for watching. Me as far I know you were listening, and I'll see you around.